Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ike Sky, and this is the Apex Online Racing GT3 League. Season 14, Round 3. We are coming all the way over to America, to Texas Motor Speedway. We're going to be featuring the road course, and our 20 plus drivers will be tackling some very tricky conditions today, judging by the forecast so far. They will be potentially facing some rain at some point through the race. At what point that comes, we don't know, but well, we will know, because all the cars will be throwing themselves off the field, but, you know, we don't know yet. So, Twitch has already got himself a penalty for exiting the pit lane inappropriately. Didn't take very long at all. Phantom Hamster is first to brave the Motor Speedway. A gigantic bowl of a circuit. This is going to amplify the sound of these monstrous GT3 cars so much more. And you heard that lift through for Phantom Hamster through that left-right chicane. It was that is much more of a chicane and a kink than it looks like. Let me just get, because I'm not going to claim to be any kind of master at this track. P-Lock jumping back into the pits already by the looks of things. Now, Enton is coming out of the pits. Jack Game coming round to start his lap. Stephen Carey is coming out onto the circuit. P-Lock jumped into the pits. What have we got going on? Devil's coming down into the first corner. Looks like he is on a hot lap. Tyres looking perfectly up to pressure there. And then you can see a massive dive to the left and a kink to the right. What's going on further down the grid? These cars are all not giving themselves enough space. Not by a long shot. Let's have a look at Jack Game in the Porsche. Coming down now towards the hairpin back onto the oval. Not quite the camber that you see at some of the tracks, but a very, very steep angle for the cars to negotiate. Time's just starting to pile in now. Obviously, these are just going to be banker laps, and these times are going to get significantly quicker as we go through the session. So to start with, 1 minute 16 for Breznicek, I think. Yeah, good man. The Porsche showing some very strong pace in these opening bouts of qualifying. Stephen Carey has walked away from them with a 0.7 second gap. With Phantom Hamster in front of him, this lap is going to be a lot slower. Simply by virtue of being stuck behind another car. Where is Phantom Hamster at the moment? Ah, 5th place. No, I wasn't even Phantom. Okay, I'll take it back. I'm very sorry, mate. Nintz has a supporter in chat as well. Just been pushed down to 7th, but he's still out on track, still pushing. Lamborghini with the green accents. Coming across the line, is he going to go any quicker? That is slightly faster, but immediately gets pushed back down. Someone pulling... Enton has taken provisional pole. 10 minutes and 16 left. A little nudge from the Mercedes behind. That won't do him any harm, really. And that's enough for Nins for the time being. It looks like Enton in the Mercedes looking like that thumping V8 in the front of the AMG is working wonders for Enton. We'll see very soon if Stephen Carey has an answer for the sheer pace of that Mercedes. He does not go faster by the looks of it. Oh no. And then nice and wide, close to the wall, braking down into Cell 1. Absolutely fantastic. And the camber offset coming into that initial hairpin throws the car in all sorts of wobble. Stephen Carey has jumped to the top of the table with a 1 minute 15.3, 1/10 ahead of Enton. So it looks like we're going to be nice and tight at the top of the tables here. With Deuce in another Lambo. Just coming out onto the oval now. Coming across the line to try and increase his position. And that does not take him any higher. Twice, meanwhile, looking to either try to find himself some space. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Trying to find himself some space to get a decent lap in again. Bresenchik having a very, very good showing currently at the moment in 6th place. Ah, Colossus has had a wheel failure in the Bentley. Oh, but he is trying... No. Oh, I'm so sorry, mate. I was really looking forward to seeing that Bentley out on the field as well. Ah, that sucks, man. I hope you can get that working. Enton, meanwhile, at the top of the table, going half a second faster than the time initially set by Stephen Carey and eclipsed by Mad Dog by 0.2, and then Enton's gone even quicker. Having the drag of that Porsche in front of him is going to help as well on the oval. 1:14.58 is the gap, is the fastest time now for Enton in the Mercedes. A split of 0.5 seconds. Doesn't recognise his wheel, also the... Oh, what a lovely collision in qualifying. What wheel is Colossus using, Dome? I hope he can fix it in time. It'd be amazing to hear and see that Bentley circulating with the rest of the cars. Enton calling it pits for the time being. Mad Dog on his way out of the pits. Silly question, but has he tried removing it from the G29 from his devices and then like unplugging it and plugging it back in, just to recalibrate it or something? I run a G27, so. Enton has got a penalty. Enton has got a 1 grid place penalty for, I assume, yeah, pit lane violation. Mad Dog, meanwhile, looking like he's running a very loose and light setup. Yep, that's one way to warm the tyres up, Mad Dog. That will definitely do it. Stephen Carey currently in 3rd. Probably wondering what on earth he's doing down there. With 3 minutes remaining, well, best part of 4, but Brazenchik in the Porsche currently circulating around in 7th now. Very, very good showing for the Porsches at the moment. The Demon Tweaks Lamborghini of Deuce will be. The Simmons Mercedes seem to be sharing a pit box. That's an interesting one. Across the line for Stephen Carey, still sitting in 3rd place, and that time is not going to improve his position either. How are we looking further down the grid? Andu is sitting in the pits, Meerkat in the other NSX. Coming around the oval to complete another lap. And that is going to be slower than his existing time. Stormy? Sorry, nearly. Oh, very wide for Stormy there. Not the quickest way around the track, mate. Big lock up on the inside as well. I wonder if he's not running any assists. I don't know if that's a Ferrari specific thing or if it's a... Oh, Jack has stopped. Trying to find some space. Yeah, trying to find some space on the track. A bit early in the lap to be doing so, but he should have enough time to be able to get round and get one more lap in to try and increase his position. Can't believe Brazenchik still 7th place, man. That was a demon lap from the Porsche driver. Meanwhile, Ticklewish Picklewickle, whose name still never gets boring, coming out to cross the line now, and will remain in 8th position. I believe we're probably getting to that part of the qualifying session where the drivers have mostly used up the best of their tyres and their freshness. Oh, beautiful drift for us from Phantom Hamster coming down into turn 1, running a little bit too wide, but we'll give him an 8 out of 10 for that one. That was very, very handy. And that is qualifying complete. We will have a quick look at Jack Game in the 76 Porsche, just because I really, really like that livery. On the brakes into the final hairpin, just speedway turns 3 and 4 to negotiate. There's a bumper hanging off the front, that's not going to help his aero at all. Okay, cool. Is he back in the session? I really hope he's gotten back into the lobby. That is going to keep Jack Game in 12th position. Awesome. Good, 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 good. Good. Where's the Bentley? Ooh, Nin's having a massive moment there. Trying to extract every 10th out of the track, and the track biting back, it seems. Oh, that's disappointing. It's probably because the session's over now. So they will be starting the race soon. So, here is your starting grid. And then, because we'll have plenty of time to run through this on the warm-up lap, thank goodness. Yeah, a Mercedes tops the timesheets, but will not start the race in first position. That will go to the Lamborghini of Stephen Carey. So, 25 drivers taking the grid. Preparing their cars for what will be a very, very difficult race. In testing, a number of the drivers have been complaining about tyre wear. And there was, in the pre-race chatter, talk of perhaps even a 2-stop race. 1 pit stop is mandated, but they might be taking 2 because they need it. The abrasion of the circuit, especially the infield part of the circuit, defeats these wet tyres very quickly, and doesn't really do the dry tyres too many favours either. So we're just waiting now for the drivers to set up their cars and get their fuel loads ready. For the time being, a beautiful sky here in Texas. We should soon be getting started. And here we go. The drivers now have control of their engines and everything else, as you can hear. Headlights switching on, and the warm-up lap begins. That was Stephen Carey jumping away very quickly from the start. and holding a reasonable pace at the moment. So let's have a look at our starting grids as the cars come up and around Speedway Turn 1. Stephen Carey will be leading your field away in less than a lap's time. Enton, with that one-place grid penalty, will pull away beside him in second place. Mad Dog in third. L3V will go away in fourth. Very good run for Lev there. Deuce in fifth and Twice sixth. Twice another person who very quickly got a grid penalty from trying to get out the pit lane too early. Brezenchik 7th and 8th for Tickerwish Pickerwickle for the 4th row of the grid. Nins in 9th, absolutely spot on. Next beside him will be Moto X, then Meerkat and Jack Game, P-Lock, Phantom Hamster, Atlas Gehan, Jesse Gaming, Devil, Andu, Stormy CZ, Stevo, Mlonya, Psycho and Clay Lambo will be bringing up the rear. A second, no, that's fine. As we have a very brief look towards the back of the grid, 52 Ginetta looking resplendent and sounding a little bit farmerish. Oh, that's looking like, yes, they are forming up for the start of the grid. This is going to be a monster start. So, how many people do we think are going to get down to the first corner safely? First proper corner, we won't count the speedway turns. Coming up towards the start line now, we are waiting for Stephen Carey to put his foot down. And we are away for round 3 of AOR GT3 League Season 14. Stephen Carey has got a beautiful start over the two Mercedes, and Mad Dog is going to... Enton is going to lose out to Mad Dog here, coming through Speedway Turn 1. Possibly even the Lamborghini of Lev behind, depending on how they are under brakes. The Lambo's not quite got the overlap, and Enton's able to turn in. Possibly even, was that just the slightest of touch on Mad Dog? Looking further down the grid, everyone has behaved themselves absolutely beautifully so far, and that is what we expect from our AOR drivers. Stephen Carey has already got a 1.3 second advantage before we get to Mad Dog and Enton. The two Mercedes fairly equally balanced in performance. Enton just getting the slightly worse start. Meanwhile, P-Lock arguing with an Audi manufacturer mate, with Nintz in the green tinted Lambo just behind, trying to draft up to the back of them. There's not going to be a lot of space at the moment, but drafting around this speedway section is going to be absolutely pivotal. It looks like Enton is dropping back quite a bit, potentially into the clutches of Lev here. And I don't know if that's my network problems or Enton's. That's a very quick look. Nope. Nintz now in 8th, has managed to overtake P-Lock. P-Lock's trying to come back at him coming onto the speedway section. That's not going to work. And P-Lock is going to bounce himself into the wall. Now the Lambo should have the straight line advantage over the Mercedes coming round here. Nintz looking for that 7th place to take it away from Twice. Cutting across the grass, probably not quite intending to do that. It's going to bring a bit of dirt onto the track at the apex of that turn. But that is Nintz losing a space? So I was looking at timings. Oh, Mercedes have twice there, very slow off the chicane, giving Nintz all the opportunity that he needs to get past. And that is a very sideways moment for Twice. Manages to hold on to it, thank goodness, but lost several places in the process. And he's going to lose another one now to Phantom Hamster as well. Nintz has got a penalty, however, by the looks of things. A 2-second penalty. Oh dear. He's been a very naughty boy, probably for that corner cut infringement. The top three now spacing out just slightly, giving themselves a bit of space. Juice, meanwhile, going on the attack on Lev into turn 1. Maybe he just outbraked himself. But no, it looks like that Lambo has some pace underneath it. Enter now looking like he's going to be under pressure reasonably soon from this Demon Tweaks Lambo, the way he's just walked away from Lev in 5th place now. A good qualifier session for Lev, but obviously not quite got the race pace underneath that Lambo. Meanwhile, very quietly, Brzezinski has made his way up to 6th place, I think from 7th, and is closing down the Lamborghini of Lev. Oh, is Juice not quite got the pace that he thought he did? Yeah, it's entirely possible. What is going on here? Nintz is currently under pressure from Moto X. Moto X misses the apex of the hairpin and dives towards the outside, towards Nintz's car, and that is gonna put the shakes on him. Both of these two aching for points, as is Phantom Hamster behind. Phantom not having a good race out last time at Laguna Seca. Now in the draft of these two cars is having miles per hour over them, coming down the outside, struggling to stop, probably missed his braking point simply because he had so much overspeed. And Nintz goes up the inside of Moto X, who was just trying to cover his line by the looks of it. Now we need to be here because the NSX has an overlap and is past under braking on the Audi, but the Audi can come back up the inside. But it is going to be Nintz that has the inside coming onto the speedway turn. But Nintz, if he's clever, doesn't want that place quite yet. He's going to want it after the speedway turns, where the drafting for the Audi is going to have much more effect. We'll jump on board with Moto X for a minute, who is not jumping into the slipstream for some reason. just allowing that NSX to creep away slowly. And under braking, the NSX closes in on the Lambo again. Phantom Hamster taking a very late apex through that hairpin there, trying to get the throttle down as much as he dare. And that is a massive dive up the inside for Moto X, and that is the position taken back. Superb drive in there from Moto X. Steve-O has had an enormous accident. It's on his roof. I don't even know where that is. How has that happened? I did see another Mercedes parked by the side of the track and assumed that's probably someone we've lost. Our number 2 car of Steve-O is not going anywhere. That's really peculiar. Oh, Anton, I've just met with. That will be Deuce having a pain in the backside trying to get going again. Meanwhile, Anton being put under pressure now by Presenchik, who is in 3rd position, moving all the way up the field. That Porsche is absolutely on song today. Now taking the low line going round the speedway turns. The two entirely different engine notes singing around this bowl. Presenchik in the Porsche is all the way up to 2nd now. Still covering the inside line. He doesn't know where that Lamborghini is going to be strongest. Ticklewish Picklewickle, meanwhile, is making a pit stop and is going to drop down rather dramatically. For Presenchik, looking at a silver trophy at the moment, there is a 7-second gap to 1st place at this point. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to overcome in the Porsche, but maybe that threat of rain will be the thing that allows him to make some progress. Meanwhile, Nintz in the Lamborghini, closing in on Juice once again. These cars very, very equal in performance. Not even the drag effect of the rear wing is enough to stir them. Phantom Hamster, meanwhile, fallen behind Moto X, still hasn't got that position back, but is also under pressure from Andu in the BMW. I'll say Phantom was very vocal about his wanting to have a better race than last time out at Laguna Seca. So far he's showing it really well. It's going to be a good haul of points for him. Just a touch of the wall. Sparks fly from the rims as they brush up against the concrete. have a look slightly further down the field. In the sister car to Phantom Hamster, Meerkat running around behind the Audi of Devil. Looking to use the straight line advantage of the Acura NSX to overhaul the Audi. And if that doesn't work, he'll use the superior handling. That NSX is such an attractive car. I'm sorry. I can't drive it or set it up at all to make it work, but it is such an attractive car. Enton is fighting with Juice. He must have run wide at the hairpin. Lev now coming on a bit stronger with the Porsche of Breznicek in his sights. Breznicek already going defensive. If we learn anything from Laguna Seca, it's that going defensive early does not help you in this championship. All it does is slows you down and makes the pass easier for the car behind. Looks like that's a fairly stable gap, unless it's going to be down the straights that the Lamborghini is significantly faster. But the Porsches normally do handle very, very well, especially on these undulating surfaces around these ovals. That's screaming flat six. And just cuts away for a second. Ah, that's a spin for Class Lambo. That's a shame for him. Looks like that's through the chicane as well. Don't worry, that's not the last we're going to see of any of that. Back to our fight for second place, and Lev is taking a very, very wide line. Breznicek going super defensive on the inside. That's going to give him a very slow apex speed, but thankfully there's a chicane up there to halt the progress of Lev in his pursuit of second place. That gap looking to be about stable, just about stable, with the Lambo in the draft of the Porsche in second. Lambo taking a much wider line. Is this going to be the corner? Perhaps under brakes? Lambo having to go high line because there's no room on the inside, and yet again Breznicek not leaving any room at all on the inside. Super defensive. Outbrakes himself, however, and that gives the Lambo the opportunity, but he does have the defensive line going into the right-hand hairpin here, and Breznicek does not make the same mistake twice. Status quo resumed, and that work having to be done again for Lev. Look further down the grid. Meerkat has dethroned Devil of his 9th place, and now sits just 2 positions behind his teammate. Oh right, that was the timings being weird. Sorry, I saw the positions of 7th and 8th changes just because the way Project Cars do their positioning. Devil absolutely not giving up the fight in that Audi though. And P-Lock behind is ready to take advantage of anything that these two have as far as a tangle is concerned. Every time, man. Every time. That gap has just opened up slightly. Perhaps the Lambo is not all that happy in the dirty air of the Porsche. Maybe that's the reason why the Porsche can keep it so neat and tidy. If it's running slightly higher downforce, especially over the rear wing, that will increase its stability, but it will also create a torrent of dirty air. Lambo going wide, very wide. Breznicek not making the same mistake again and getting his Porsche right on the apex of the corner where it needs to be able to stop the Lamborghini from making progress. Phantom Hamster, meanwhile, looking to close in on Nins. Meanwhile, Moto X is just about ready and they touch as Phantom Hamster rejoins the track. A bit messy, but all's fair in love and racing. Audi looking just the tiniest bit stronger, and Phantom Hamster going very defensive under braking into that second hairpin and slow off the corner as well. Meaning the Audi has to take evasive action. NSX is not starting to not look as happy as it has been on its little rubber donuts. And now the Audi trying to decide which way to go. There is no I don't envy Moto X's position, because whichever decision you make, it's going to be the wrong one. Does Phantom Hamster trust his brakes? No, he does not. He goes defensive very early. Not even going anywhere close to the outer wall to block off the progress of that Audi. And again, very good blocking we're seeing. Good defensive driving from everyone. The Audi thought about it. He thought about it that time, going for the inside, but not quite, and it's never going to happen. And he's fighting for the outside again. Entirely in front, according to that, but now he's got an overlap coming onto the speedway, and that may well be the position gone. Unless the NSX can dip in behind and take some of that slipstream from the Audi to use the horsepower of the Acura Honda to get back past. The highline working for the NSX there. Letting that 3-litre turbo V6, if I remember correctly, run its revs out. Carries it all the way around the outside, gives up the position finally, but the Audi has to miss its marks under braking to try and keep the NSX at bay. And an early apex for Phantom trying to put Moto X off his game as well is very good tactics from absolutely everyone involved. Looks like that position may be gone for the time being though. Further down the grid, P-Lock and Jack Game are fighting over 11th and 12th. Advantage Jack Game at the moment. Remember, these two cars come from the same family of companies, but entirely different philosophies on how to build a race car. Oh, what I'm missing as well is there's Devil in front of Jack Game as well. And that is the fight for 10th. That is the fight for some championship points. And the Porsche is going in very early. The Audi stays out wide. Neither are quite sure where the other car is at the moment. They're being very, very tentative. Lambo is slow on the inside, missing a rear wing as well. And that is the rain that was promised us. Now this is going to be interesting. Who of our drivers is going to brave it out, and who of our drivers is going to give up first? The Audi not quite looking as happy as the Porsche now that there's some moisture on the track. A quick switch to the inside, and that is Jack Game through and up into 10th position. Fantastic driving there. Now, are any of the drivers going to listen to what I said in the pre-race conversations? Because this rain is light. It's not going to necessarily ruin their race. Bit of a lock up on that rear left from Jack Game. The transition down from the speedway into this infield section is by far the most treacherous section of the track. Meerkat now looking to be under pressure from Jack Game. This Porsche now in the wet, in the hands of Jack Game, looking like it is about to start setting the track alight in this wet weather. Something we're very used to with Porsches in real life, but we've not really seen it in Project Cars 2, that performance benefit of having the engine over the rear wheels. But we may be seeing it now with Jack Game closing in on Meerkat in the NSX. Meanwhile, further up the grid, we've got 3 for 5th place. And Nintz is going to cede a position to Phantom Hamster, and Phantom Hamster is going to go and try and go around the outside of the Audi. It's not going to work because there is not enough room on the track. There is contact between Nintz and Moto X as Phantom loses out that place that he just gained. Meerkat is jumping into the pits. He's given up. Andu also has given up and is jumping into the pits. Meanwhile, this battle coming down to the second of the 2 hairpins. We've got a Lamborghini up the inside. Phantom Hamster has outbrakes himself and everybody else and pushes them all off the track. And so the net gain there was Nintz has gained 5th position from 6th. Moto X has lost a position, and Phantom Hamster, quite rightly, bearing in mind he outbraked himself, will remain 7th for the time being. Enton, meanwhile, starting very high up the grid, has dropped all the way back to 8th. Maybe now is in a position where he's going to start charging up the field. Some of the drivers will have been anticipating this wet weather. There is a Lev in the pits. There is an Andu just exiting the pits now. They must have had some damage to be repaired. Devil in the pits. Lev is now leaving. Atlas Gehen making some positions up simply by virtue of the pit stops occurring. Coming around the outside of Lev by the looks of it. Is he going to make the place? Yes, for the time being. But how long are these slicks going to last? Let's jump on with... who did we just see come in? We saw... I think Lev was our highest position that has jumped into the pits. Let's just jump onto an onboard. Nope, not that one. You can see the road is slightly slick and lacking that little bit of grip, but it's still workable. There is where they're going to be having the most issues. Everyone diving into the pits now. The top 5 drivers, it seems, have just disappeared into the pits, leaving Deuce, Enton and Jack Game out in front in the Porsche. Is he going to stop? Is he not going to stop? That was a very late apex. Good grief. So Lev now in 7th position, coming around Speedway turn 1. The drivers in front are just exiting the pits. So that means Breznicek and Stephen Carey, your net first and second, have suddenly been absolutely compressed down to 2 seconds from, I think it was close to 10. Whether that was a pit stop error by Carey or a piece of genius pit work from Breznicek, we will not know till the end of the race. Also, we won't know what's going on. Stephen Carey struggling on those tyres is going to... Not Stephen Carey. Twice, sorry. Struggling on those tyres. Is he going to give way? Not yet, he's not. However, Deuce, Enton and Jack Game have acquiesced to the pits. It looks like Twice is trying to stay out on those tyres as long as he possibly can. This rain is significantly worse than the practice race. Either that or I'm being lied to by what I'm seeing. Entered in the pits. They are having to be so careful with these tyres. Oh, that rain is hammering down. Spray coming off of these cars. Ticklewish Picklewickle in the pits. Not bothering with the damage by the looks of it. Andu, meanwhile, closing in on the Audi of Molyneux. Molyneux going very, very defensive for a car that's so far back. Twice finally giving up and jumping into the pits. That rain came so quickly as well. And the track is now sodden. There is a river, you can't see it, but there is a river on on the crossover between the infield and Speedway. And what you did also just see is the Porsche taking the lead of the race from the Lamborghini of Stephen Carey. This is Breznicek in first, being hounded by not one but two Lamborghinis from separate teams, and holding that inside line, using the rear engine in that Porsche to its absolute maximum and keeping it. Good grief, I would hate to be Breznicek right now. That is so much pressure to be put under. Lev taking a very wide line to give the Lamborghini of Carey space on the inside. That's the only way they're going to get past the Porsche, is if they take it in turns. Look at that. The Porsche, in an out-and-out fight, the Porsche has no chance against these Lamborghinis. The balance of performance is just not in its favour. But here in these conditions, that's a second advantage to Breznicek there. Where is Jack Game? Jack is in the pits again. Andu, meanwhile, a little bit surrounded at the moment, with Psycho in front and Mlonia behind. Looks like these three are just pounding round, trying to get the laps in, trying to not lose it on that crossover section. Oh, good grief. Right. So, your battle for second and third is Stephen Carey followed by Lev with a gap of 0.2 of a second. Whoever misses their braking points first is the car that is going to lose this fight. Now, we've seen Stephen Carey run faultless races, but that's when he's had the balanced performance and the setup in his favour. Now, it's very obvious that he does not have that in this particular race, and it's a spin for Stephen Carey, evasive action for Lev, and that is second place handed to L3V. Deuce now only a second behind, depending on how quickly he can get back up and running. Stephen Carey may well lose a position to fourth here. Deuce up the inside. Stephen Carey is giving him room. The discretion, absolutely the better part of Valor, with the tyres caked no doubt in grass from that spin. He's not wanting to fight that right now. A bit of weaving to make sure everything's still straight with the car. Mlonia has lost a position to Meerkat. And there is a dent in the roof as well. How on earth has that happened, Meerkat? I'm sure we've seen a repeat of this earlier. I'm pretty sure it was Mlonia and Meerkat who are fighting. I tell you what Mlonia is fighting. The devastating understeer on that. What on earth was that? Was that the... No, it wasn't that one. And right at the back of the grid, DGSE Gaming and Clay's Lambo are fighting it out tooth and nail as well. Lamborghini versus Ginetta. Well, looks to be a repaired Ginetta, unless I'm... Oh, Melania has spun. And lost a position Psycho. The rain is going to be claiming victims left, right and centre, and that it's taken Stephen Carey out within a couple of minutes shows just how challenging these conditions are. And that flat left-right chicane in the first sector of possibly just into the second sector. Oh no, it is sector 2. Absolutely not helping anybody as far as that's concerned. Ninta, meanwhile, in 8th position. Just taking the first glances at the potential of a pass, taking a very, very high line into Speedway Turn 1. Massive oversteer and lock up, and that is the place gained by Nins. Devil having a problem getting down into that first hairpin. And the position is Nince's. That is 7th position now. The Lamborghini driver. And let's see what he can do with it. Went 7 a second at the moment with a 16-second gap, 17-second gap to Phantom Hamster in 6th position. Phantom Hamster saying that he wanted a faster, a better race this time out, and it looks like he's getting it. That charge from Devil very much abated. Meanwhile, Enton, this weather really not agreeing with that Mercedes now. The wipers going full chat across the windscreen. Even in the slipstream of that Renault in front of Atlas Gerhan. Still struggling to make that pass. Oh, but the Renault's going to run super wide there. Manages to get it back into the apex and completely balks Enton's exit off of the corner. Now Enton needs to gather it all up and get his pace back again. And just behind him as well, Twice is haunting the back of that Mercedes. Moto X now. Stephen Carey has dropped all the way down to 4th position with that spin and is looking like he's gonna be suffering even more now. With Moto X 3/10 back, braking on the outside line, Stephen Carey has gone super defensive. Parking it on the apex, Stephen Carey can't get the car into the apex, and it looks like the pass is done even before they get out onto the speedway section. The Lamborghini is going to stay high. There we go, then dive into the slipstream to see if he can make that pass back. This weather is absolutely torrid Carry switches back to the inside, but Moto2X absolutely has it covered. Dipping down into the first of the road section hairpins, and that has basically cemented the pass. Enton and Twice, the two AMG GTs. Running 10th and 11th at the moment. Not bad, just showing at all for them. Benton will absolutely want him to be putting pressure on that Renault in front and make that position. The Renault RS01 coincident. Ah, Allah's having a spin going down into the first hairpin, perfectly harmless, but robbed us of a good fight. The RS01, the only car in the grid to have 7 gears. Was the point I was about to make. But now that they're free of that Renault, that's a 9th and 10th position for the two teammates. We just need to see what they're going to do now. Are they going to race each other, or are they going to push to get that gap to Nintz, which is 5 seconds at the moment? It looks like they've got a comfortable gap to each other. So, with 35 laps of 49 complete, it looks like they might be settling down a bit. The only action that the director reckons is coming from this battle between the two teammates, and that likely isn't going to be too much of an issue. Coming out onto the speedway, how are we looking? Whoa, Enton having a massive kick of oversteer there. Obviously not for the first time, since Twice has got quite a few seconds now over his teammate. 3 in fact. So, as I was saying, with the action now starting to calm down, with only 13 laps to go, that's 1-3, that we have been, this really has been a treat to commentate. I really hope that everybody watching has enjoyed it as well, because this has been such an action-packed race. Enton's really not enjoying himself with whatever this setup is at the moment. Oh no, he was probably just jumping out of the way of Lev. No. Psycho in the Ferrari is running very slowly. Where is he? Just lost a position by the looks of things to Ticklewish Picklewickle. Okay, now that we've had an opportunity to witness how good the racing can be, let's jump on board for a lap, and I'll keep nice and quiet for this, so you can hear the song of the Porsche in the rain. along with the wiper. And that is how you do a lap of Texas Motor Speedway. See, anyone can do it. You just need to get yourself a good Porsche. I just heard a dip of revs in the foreground. Trying to see for the car which has spun. Looks like that is an Enton. No, that is a Twice that's currently in front of the leader. Definitely heard someone doing donuts at turn 1. Oh, is it Stephen Carey? Oh, Stephen Carey seems to have dropped back again. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. I'll take that back. But this rain really has turned this race on its head. Breznicek, it seems, has got the ideal wet setup for his Porsche and is absolutely making use of it. And you thought your battles were over. We just about had time for a fast lap for the leader, and they're all getting back on it again. 10 laps to go. Twice in a Mercedes AMG GT3 car, staring at the back of that yellow and green Lamborghini of Nintz, very much wishing to rob that position. Gotta let the leader through first, but that will absolutely be a benefit to him coming out onto the main straight, as Nintz is a little bit too courteous to the leader, coming through the final hairpin. And we will now see those German horses unleashed for the green Mercedes. A very wide line taken by Twice going into turn 1, even going so far as to turn right to get as late an apex as he possibly could, to get that aggressive turn in, keep the speed up through Speedway turn 1. Twice now going to have to jump out of the way of the second place driver. A very wide turn into the first of the right-handers on this infield section through the chicane, and now Twice is staring at the back of a Lamborghini, but not the one he's trying to overtake. With Enton now getting some attention from our director suite. And that is the pass made for Lev on the Lamborghini of Nins. And battle is rejoined for our 8th and 9th and 10th place drivers. Really late apex for Twice, but that seems to be what the Mercedes seem to do well, but not that time. A very quick donut for Twice, and now I'm hungry. That will be a lapping car of juice. Yep. Not a problem. Oh, meanwhile, Nins has had a spin in the second of the hairpins, which is going to push Enton up to 8th place. Inheriting that from the two drivers behind him, mistakes. Oh, and Nins having a minor accident with the jack gain there, spinning on the hairpin again. He's not happy in that car, not in the slightest. Maybe the tyres are on their way out. 8 laps left to go. You either give up track position for that fresh rubber, or you tough it out and hope that you can hold the rest of what's left of the tyres together. That's the question they've got to ask. Way, a massive collision for Nins there, and who was that Audi that was very unfair of MotoX. Probably not intentional, but Nins has lost a position from that, from the RS01, and will probably have taken quite a bit of damage. I don't think I've got a damage readout on this. No. That's a shame. But he's missing the rear wing. Just in case you needed confirmation, the Nins definitely has damage. I was a little bit greedy of MotoX. It might be that the wind was taken off his nose, and he basically understeered. MotoX is being very aggressive with his lappery. I'm sure he's got in his mind that he can make up the 7 seconds to Juice in 3rd place, but I'm probably going to have to stop watching him soon. Up onto the speedway once again. Now we can say the cars are starting to spread out a little bit. In fairness, it's more. Yeah, the way that AOR works is that the incidents have to be reported to the stewards. So if there is nothing, if there's no foul play anticipated, then that is Enton now behind Andu with a spin in the first corner. I told you that transition is going to be getting to people. But that's BMW in 9th. hear another idling engine. Either that or I am just going mad. Meanwhile, nice and calm out in the lead with a 3-second gap and just enough. That's all you need. Not be in the slipstream, not be under pressure. Speaking of pressure, Psycho has just lost a position to Jack Game, by the looks of it. Ferrari must have not had the drive off the corner. That's a massive gap, though. I think that was the timing messing up again. Oh, there's some very low revs, and that is the BMW of Antu falling off the racetrack. Is Enton about to finally get a reprieve for the amount of grief he's had this race? Not yet, he's not. It was a much, much bigger moment for Enton than it was Andu, obviously. But that spin for the BMW is gonna put him significantly closer. If he's feeling confident in the car, there's still time and space for this to happen. And the BMW is stuck behind traffic. Looks like that's a Ferrari off as well. Damn it. Which Ferrari is it? Oh, Ferrari Psycho. There we go. Nintz, meanwhile, taking it very, very easy in that now stock-looking Lamborghini. It looks like he's got absolutely nothing left on the tyres or the brakes or anything. Enter, meanwhile, under braking, has got that BMW M6 absolutely licked. Closing in 3/10 in that first corner alone. Perhaps a bit of redemption for the Mercedes driver. Coming down now into the second of the two hairpins. Right-hand hairpin, sorry. And back up onto the speedway. Just jump on board with a minute. This is the visibility that the drivers are working with. And it's only going to get worse as he gets closer to Andu there. Here we go. In the slipstream. The spray guiding the way. If you can see, there you go. Then you're not in the slipstream of the car in front. Hauling out the anchors, braking very nice and early, being able to get in way tighter, but the water on the inside of that speedway transition to the road course, unsettling the Mercedes, unsettling the BMW as well, but that Mercedes is very much set up for the dry. Very low ride height, probably aquaplanes every time he goes anywhere near a puddle. And a lovely bit of a blip of burnout as Endon tries to put his foot down as his rear tyres hit the puddle. lapped car now in the way. Who was that? It's Jesse Gaming. Jesse Gaming trying to get out of the way of the lapping traffic. Goes down onto the pit apron and hurts his race a little bit more. Might actually put him into the grasp of Bologna soon. Looks like Enton's had enough, and that is the race over. Those last 10 laps absolutely flew by. And here is your winner coming round Speedway Turn 1. The Porsche of Breznicek. It really was the rain that handed this race to him. Rain and a fantastic strategy. And a very, very cool head. If this isn't a statement of intent, I don't know what is. Everybody watch out for Breznicek, because you cannot sway that. You cannot sway this guy. You pile 2 Lamborghinis. You pile 2 Lamborghinis on the back of that Porsche, and he still will not cave. Moto X, it looks like. No. Think we're slowly getting there. As far as laps completed, there we go. So your final standings will be D. Breznicek in first place, L3V in second, Juice third, Stephen Carey fourth, Moto X fifth, Phantom Hamster sixth, Devil seventh, Twice eighth, Andu ninth, Enton 10th, Gehan 11th, 12th will be Meerkat, 13th TPW, 14th Nins, 15th Jack Game, 16th Psycho, 17th Jesse Gaming, in 18th will be Mlonya, 19th will be Kles Lambo, and Stevo will retire from being stuck on his roof. That was, from start to finish, a monster of a race. And the first person that we're going to speak to is Phantom Hamster. 6th place in that race. You said you wanted to improve on your showing at Laguna Seca. I think you did yourself proud there, mate. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was good. That was good fun.
How was the race for you?
I wasn't happy with qualifying, but I don't seem to qualify particularly well, and then just battled my way through. Had a very long battle with, I think it was Nins and Moto X, which got a bit heated at times, but
yes.
As soon as it got wet, I think I just didn't have the pace. But it was good enough for 6th, which is still pretty good points.
Well, no, absolutely. It's points. Points make prizes.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a good, fun race. And I think apart from my slight mistake where I tried to make it 3 wide into a hairpin, it didn't quite work. It was pretty clean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The stuff that I saw was absolutely like spot on racing as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I think Moto X dive was pretty good at dive bombing.
Oh my goodness, was he ever!
And I think one of them was a bit scary because it was literally, if I saw him at the last minute and turned left, just turning right, and then suddenly went, oh crap, turned right, and just got out of the way because I think he would have clattered into me if I hadn't moved. But
yeah, absolutely. No. There's Moto X I've noticed has been quite aggressive. Especially with his lappery. I don't know what was going on tonight, but he was very much happy to put his nose in where it might be a bit difficult to be okay with.
Yeah, it's kind of like if he puts a lot of trust in who he's racing to like get out the way.
Yeah, and realize that he's there as well.
Yeah. But I mean, fair play to all the back markers. They were pretty good, and I think all the guys I raced with, it was a good race.
Yeah, absolutely. No. make no mistake, this is absolutely a fantastic. It's been a fantastic race. Like everything about this race was everything that's brilliant about racing. Like from start to finish, I think the first time we got a break in the action, and I don't mean like a lull or anything like that. I mean the first time that there were no cars that were overtaking or battling was lap 35.
Yeah, that felt about right, because I think basically as soon as I came into the pits, Moto X just drove away from me, and then I was sort of stuck between. I can't remember who was behind me, but I was basically stuck between the two guys. I wasn't making any headway in front, and I wasn't pulling away, so I was just sort of sat there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, but it's solid points. It's an improvement on Laguna Seca. And didn't you say that Sonoma Raceway is one of your favourite circuits last week?
Certainly Sonoma and Sakito. I think a couple of my favourites. So.
Yeah, Sonoma Raceway next time.
Yeah, I think. Well, I've now got a teammate in Meerkat, so we'll be working on getting the Acura a bit quicker. But I found something in the setup that just seemed to work. I don't know what it was, but something worked.
Oh, absolutely, and it's about getting that reliability, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't check all of my lap times, but certainly in practice, we did a practice race, and I think they were all, when it was dry, the second, and then they were within a second when it was wet. So it was super consistent, and it was just, apart from the odd slide here and there and a half spin, it was pretty flawless, I think.
Ah, that's fantastic. Well, it's good to know that you got a teammate now. You got someone who you can bounce ideas off as far as setup's concerned, and hopefully we'll see you both further up the grid.
Yeah, I mean, well, he out-qualified me, so hopefully we can carry it through to the race, because I didn't actually see what happened to him in the race. Because I can't remember, I got past him on about lap 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then he sort of fell back a bit.
Yeah, no, he finished in 12th, but he was a bit bullied, to be fair.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, no, he was a little bit bullied, unfortunately. But, either way, look forward to seeing you out in Sonoma. Very well done on your performance today. Fantastic showing for the NSX, which yes. I will call the Honda, because it is.
Yay. That makes my life so much easier.
Oh yeah, no, it is a Honda NSX. I don't care what the Americans say, it's a Honda. But yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. We'll see what Sonoma brings, but hopefully more points and just some more good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a good evening, Phantom, and I will see you next time. All right.
Yeah, take care.
Brilliant. Now, this is a man... Oh, hang on. Who are we going to speak to next? Because someone knows. Nint said don't talk to him next. So let's... Enton's muted at the moment. But you're there, Enton. You're muted at the moment. We may be short on Enton, I think. That's a shit. Oh no, we've lost him. There you go. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Hey there, Claes Lambo.
Hi.
We've got a bit of an echo there. Ah, you on you? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, how was your race, dude?
Okay. When the rain started.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So yeah, I took the softs even if it rained, and when I lost grip with the softs, because they were worn, and then worn softs in the rain, that wasn't too clever.
Yeah. For some reason, the rain was way worse than what we experienced in the practice race.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I don't know if the settings were different, but I followed what was on the page. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about the wrong lead.
It felt a lot worse, really.
Yeah, no. As soon as the rain started coming down, it was obvious that it was a lot heavier than what we'd raced in before. But,
yeah, there I was on my soft tires.
yeah, absolutely. In the Ginetta. It's a brave attempt nonetheless.
Well, I had fun. Good.
That's the main thing, isn't it, really?
It is.
But at least you didn't end up as bad as Steve-O did on his roof.
No, no, it was quite okay, really. I didn't damage the car too much, so yeah.
Good. No, no, no. That's absolutely brilliant. It's all progress when you can, like, when you're coming out of a race with an intact and clean car.
Yeah.
You can take that forwards and
Yeah,
and
sure.
work on that.
Sure.
No, but that's fantastic. Next race out is going to be Sonoma.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
It depends on the weather, but Sonoma is a great track.
Cool. I'm glad we agree on that. No,
Yeah,
no,
and I hope that Ginetta thinks the same.
I'm sure it'll respond really well to whatever setup you put on it.
Yeah,
But
it's a nice track.
yeah,
Really.
no, fantastic. You're looking forward to it. You
Yep.
can have a nice, reliable, clean race.
Yeah.
Lapping is going to be so much harder for the other cars at Sonoma, though.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's not really an issue for me.
Oh, no. But it's something you're going to have to be aware of, because
Yeah, but yeah, I usually am.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd rather bin it more or less than being in the way for number 2 or 3 or something like that.
yeah, of course. But
Had to it'd be terrible to ruin somebody else's race because I'm not that good. So that
no. But you do still deserve a place on the grid, so you should still be on the track.
yeah, I think so too. I'm learning every time.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. And taking that forward and building on what you've got every race.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant to hear. That's really good to hear. But enjoyed tonight though?
Yeah, I did.
Good. That's fantastic to hear. Right. We'll see you next time out in Sonoma then.
Sure.
You have a lovely evening, mate. Alright.
You too.
See ya. And that was a bit of an audio problem. I'm so sorry that you could hear me twice, 3 times, however many times you ended up hearing me there. Let me grab. I'll grab Nintz in. Are you ready for an interview, Nintz?
Yep, I am.
Good man. An interesting race for yourself.
Very.
Talk us through it.
Well, I had a reasonable start. I worked from 10 to 8. Then had to evade a very enthusiastic Audi.
Mhm.
I think it was P-Lock. But, no harm done, no damage. So, yeah, we went on. Lap 4 or 5, I cut the track because I had a small freeze. So I had a 2-second penalty.
Right.
And then it was cruising with here and there a very small mistake until the rain came. And I would actually propose to ban rain. I really suck in the rain. So yeah, I went from 7 to 14.
Mhm.
Had a great fight with Phantom Hamster.
Yep.
Yeah. This is where you do league racing for. It was fair. It was, really well done. And yeah, then my lap 41. Suddenly I lost my rear wing. I
Yeah.
spun in the corner before, so I had really warm tires, so I had to brake somewhat earlier, and I think he didn't. He
Yeah.
wasn't patient enough for me to
Yeah.
wait to pass me.
Yeah. I'll say we did see that on camera, so there may have to be an investigation into that. But obviously, that's something for someone else to decide that isn't me.
Yeah.
But
I was planning to, but I wanted to wait for him to message me on Discord or wherever.
yeah,
But,
of course.
nothing yet. So yeah, I think the stewards meeting is in order.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say. Yeah.
Neutral. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay neutral in this one because it's a difficult one to deal with. But yeah. I understand you asking that question for sure. But
Yeah, because I have to let him pass, but I have to do it safely. And yeah, I
yeah,
did. I don't think his passing me was safe enough.
no.
And yeah, the last 6 laps, I was driving without a rear wing, and actually, it was pretty. It was going pretty well.
Good.
I didn't even miss my rear wing other than the lap time that was about 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's gonna be, well, but then the thing is, as well, as you probably have to account for the damage that you probably had through the suspension as well.
No suspension damage, but a lot of aero damage. Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right, no, that's fair enough then.
Oh, thank you.
No, that's absolutely fine. Thank you very much for giving us an entertaining race. I'm really sorry that it ended in the way that it did. Sonoma next time out?
Yeah. I hope to perform better. Is it going to stay dry?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't think the thread's up for that yet, so I couldn't tell you what the forecast is.
All right. Yeah. If it stays dry, I might have a chance. If it rains, count me for the back markers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, whatever happens, as long as you have fun, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Indeed, indeed.
There you go. Anyway, good speaking to you. Really sorry for the end of your race, but hopefully it'll be more fun next time out.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good one, mate. See you in a bit. And a very patient Ticklish Picklewickle.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
I don't know. Bit of mixed feelings after that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, talk me through your race. How did it go from your side? Because obviously we saw bits and pieces from the outside, but tell me how it was for you.
So start wasn't really all that great. I think I lost somewhere around 5 positions in the first lap. So it wasn't really ideal. And the whole nature of this season versus earlier seasons, when we have fewer tiers, we also have a larger sort of space between pace in people. So and I ended up behind some people that I was considerably faster than. That I also broke later than, and I didn't really anticipate this. So I think it was Andu I was right behind.
Yeah.
And for turn one, I broke like way later than him, and I tried to avoid him by going on the outside. But there was a tire wall there, so
Oh,
yep.
do you get damage from it?
Like 12 front damage.
Ouch, that's not insignificant.
No, I mean on this track as well. Like with where you basically almost have all the oval. I mean, it was crazy. I would lose like 2 seconds per lap just from those 12 front damage because I would go like 30 kilometers per hour down on top speed on the straight. So
Yeah, that'll ruin your race, wouldn't it?
yeah, and well, I had to go in and repair that, so I did. And then I sort of made my way up from last. I think I ended like 15th, 16th when the rain came, and then I pitted for tires obviously for the wets. And then I don't know if you caught this. I hope you didn't because that was sort of embarrassing. I spun in the pits coming out of the coming out of the box.
Yep.
So hit the wall, got damage, had to repair that on the next lap again.
Oh man.
And then I was basically back from scratch from I think 19th.
Well, at
and
least
I made my way up to 13th in the end. So
that's not bad. At least you had a nice busy race. I think is the expression.
It wasn't. I mean, it was pretty rare that I wasn't in a battle. So
no, absolutely,
was,
and it makes life easier, doesn't it? When I tell you what, commentating, it was we got to the end of the race and I didn't even realise that we were that close because we had a lull around lap 35 and then everyone just kind of bunched up again and started having battles again. The last
Yeah, and
last 10 laps disappeared like a minute.
yeah, and it's sort of it takes your mind off that you're actually like the realization that you're having such a bad race.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, it's great to have all the battles. It would really be a shame if I was just running around by myself in like 19th place. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sonoma next time out?
great track.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that then, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. And hopefully a better showing for your car then.
Yeah, I can only hope. I'm not sure how the Genessa will
was gonna
perform
say-
there, but I hope it's gonna be.
If you want any advice on what the car's doing and not doing, I might be able to jump in and have a go with your setup and see what I can do. I make no
Right,
I make no
haven't
promises.
actually worked one out, so but when I do, I might take you up on that offer.
Nice. the Genetta's really responsive. It's great in the same way as the Mercedes is. These can be a nice lazy car to just kind of throw into corners. Especially at Sonoma, you can get beautiful four-wheel drifts going round. You know that long left-hander going down onto the runway section?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get beautiful four-wheel drifts from the Genessa going down there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so there you go. But you have a lovely evening, and I will see you next time out in Sonoma.
Yeah, see ya.
See you later. I'm going to end that there. Thank you all very much for watching. If you liked this race and live stream, please absolutely click that thumbs up button. If you want to see more racing in Project Cars 2, iRacing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, as well as other racing games, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And to conclude, my name has been Ike Sky. I've been commentating the Tier 2 level of the Apex Online Racing GT3 League. I will see you all next time out in Sonoma. In the meantime, you have a lovely week. Good night.